Norse Mythology. P13. The Adventure of Thor and Loki. One day, Thor and Loki received an invitation to a feast from King Utgard Loki, the powerful ruler of the land of giants. They rode on a chariot pulled by Thor's two divine goats to Jotunheim. After a long day of traveling, as night fell, they saw a small house in a vast field and decided to rest there for the night. The small house belonged to a farmer's family, who welcomed Thor and Loki with open hearts. The farmer and his wife served them a simple meal of potatoes and wheat, but it wasn't enough for Thor and Loki. Thor suggested they kill his goats for dinner, warning them not to touch the bones. However, the farmer's son, Thialfi, was so hungry that he secretly ate the marrow from one of the bones. The next morning, Thor used magic to revive the goats, but one of them was lame because of Thialfi's actions. Thor was angry, but Thialfi was remorseful and asked to join Thor and Loki on their journey to make amends. With Thialfi's incredible speed, they continued their adventure. After another day of traveling, they found a large cave to shelter in for the night. Inside, they discovered a huge hall with smaller rooms around it. The next morning, they were startled by a massive earthquake. Outside, they saw a giant Skrymir picking up his giant glove, which was the cave they had slept in. Skrymir challenged Thor's strength by asking him to hit his head with Mjolnir. Thor struck with all his might, but Skrymir merely winced, saying it felt like a mosquito bite. Thor tried again, but Skrymir compared it to a bird pecking at his head. On the third try, Skrymir said it felt like an acorn falling on his head. Thor was disheartened. Despite his incredible strength, he couldn't harm Skrymir. Skrymir laughed and said, "If you can't even defeat me, a common giant, how can you face the king of the giants, Utgard Loki?" Thor, Loki, and Thialfi followed Skrymir to Utgard Loki's palace.